So now we're on to part 2 of your worksheet. If you scroll down, you will see part 2. And here we have some two-step equations, and they're called two-step because they require 2 steps in order to be solved. I'm going to be going through numbers 3 and 4 with you, and the rest you can try on your own. All right, so again, my goal is always to isolate the variable. So in number 3, I'm going to try to solve for x. So here we have x. And so I'm always moving whatever is least attached to x first. So I would not move the -4 first. I would move the 12 because the 12 is least attached to the x. Using inverse operations, I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. And so I'm left with -4x on the left side is equal to, these two are like terms, so that becomes -20 when combined. That's the first step. My second step, to isolate x, I just have to divide both sides by its coefficient, which is -4. The 4's cancel, and I'm left with x is equal to, and when I simplify this, -20 divided by -4, that gives me a +5. And so x is equal to 5. You will see a check column in this section, and that's because I want you to check your solutions as you go. So here's how you check. You rewrite your equation, -4x plus 12 equals -8. And all you're doing is checking to see if what you got as your solution will give you a true statement in the end. And so we're going to use a process called substitution. Wherever I see x in my original equation, I'm going to substitute it with my solution. So -4 using parentheses, instead of x, I'm writing 5. So I substituted my x for 5, continuing to write the rest of the equation. And now let's simplify. -4 times 5, that's -20, plus 12 equals -8. Let's simplify again. When I combine these two terms, I get -8, and that is also equal to -8. So guess what? It is a true statement, which means my solution of x equal 5 is correct. So that is how you do your check. If you don't understand, feel free to go back and watch again. Now let's try number 4. We're trying to solve for k, but before we get rid of the fraction, we have to get rid of the 6. And so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. The 6's cancel. I'm left with k over 4 is equal to, combining like terms, -8. Now I can go ahead and multiply both sides by the denominator. And so I'm left with k is equal to -8 times 4, -32. Now let's do a quick check. Rewriting the original equation, k over 4 plus 6 is equal to -2. I'm going to substitute the -32 in. So it's going to become -32 over 4 plus 6 is equal to -2. And so let's simplify this. -8 plus 6 is equal to -2. That's because -32 divided by 4 is -8. And when I combine these two, I get -2. And guess what? It's a true statement. And so my solution is correct. Go ahead and try the rest on your own. And don't forget to do your check. Bye, guys.